Hi there, Brad Potter here, Secure Choice Lending. I'm a mortgage broker and my loan originator license number is 403927. Horsepower Real Estate asked me to make a brief video around where interest rates are at today. So I'm going to do my best to help with that. It's pretty easy to track rates online. As a national average, you can just plug into Google where are interest rates at today. And if you did that right now, today, you'd probably see conventional rates in the 6.2 range and government rates like FHA and VA, probably something like 5.875. So it's pretty easy to follow the market that way. But if you really want to define things around where rates are at for you, specifically in your scenario, get with your trusted lender, take the time to fill out their application, and that's going to fill in the missing variables for them. For example, they're going to know how much you want to put down, which is going to allow them to determine the loan to value, which plays into the rate. They're going to know your credit score. They're going to know your occupancy type. They're going to know your debt to income ratio, which could impact rates as well. So those things are really important. And if you can do things that way, you can have a lot more definition around where rates are at. And even more importantly for most people, it gives them a what if this, then what if that. So what I mean by that is you'll now know once you've applied and gotten approved with a lender, you'll know that if I'm putting this much money down and I'm buying a house at this purchase price, my payment's going to be approximately this much. And that takes a lot of the fear out of doing any kind of financial transaction. The more blanks you can fill in, the better it makes you feel and the better decisions you can make. So that's my 2 cents. Now, where are rates going? Tough to say. You know, we as lenders follow market industry data very closely, and the bond market, all that stuff. But right now, the Iran war has our attention. We're paying real close attention to that because it's directly impacting rates and could impact rates quite a bit further. I actually haven't seen a whole bunch of volatility, to be honest. I mean, it kind of feels shaky, but actual volatility, I mean, we're seeing some movement up and down, but it's kind of hanging around this range and has been. So in my opinion, rates are relatively stable. And even though it is hard to predict what's happening next, it does put us in a position, at least right now, where we can sit down with the client, gather data, understand their goals and what's important to them, and put a good loan together around that and get them locked into what I would say is a pretty healthy, pretty good interest rate. I've been doing mortgages for 25 years and rates have been somewhere close to this range we're in right now most of my career. Probably on the lower side of my career is where rates are at now. And so, I mean, I did business through COVID, so I've locked some loans under 3%, but the vast majority of clients over time were somewhere in the range of where we're at today. So I think rates kind of get blamed for the affordability scenario. And when you think about it, I mean, home prices have gone up, insurance is up, taxes are up. And so it makes housing sometimes in certain cases difficult for families to afford. So that's a big part of what we do is find ways to make it affordable and making sure we're keeping in mind what the future goals are with the property and with the families that are buying these houses. And then that way we're putting them in the right loans. We're doing the right amount of buy down. We're not overbuying down the rate. For example, if they're going to sell the house in 2 years, we don't want to throw a big buy down at the mortgage because they probably won't be in the loan long enough to make up the cost for the buy down based on their monthly savings. So number one on our mind is do what's best for the client, listen to what's important to them, and then help them put a good path forward. If we can do anything to help you, even if it's just answer questions, please reach out. Brad Potter, Secure Choice Lending, 541-520-6115. Thank you.